Hello, welcome back to Lessons Learned. This is Monday Quilt Chat, and we're just going to sit and talk about all the quilty things, whatever I've got going on here in my sewing studio and elsewhere. So this past weekend I did get a long arm job done for myself. I did take the Ode to Our National Parks Pat Sloan's Block Wednesday into the house and quilted it up. If you're on Facebook, you've already seen it. I do not have the binding on yet, but I do have the binding made, so I will probably be getting that on. I actually may already have it on because this is Sunday night for me, and I might do that this evening. So maybe by the time you see this, I'll have that all finished, and you'll be able to see a complete quilt on Friday. That's about all I got done this weekend. I did make one thing. Well, I made one little thing. This is a pop-up bag or pop-up trash can type thing that came in the Sew Sampler box for this month. Has a little hanger on it. It has the person that made the pattern put their little tag on there. You can leave that off. Actually, you can leave any of this stuff off of it. This is elastic, and that's to hold it shut when you're not using it, like this. Like if you wanted to put it in a bag or something and then just take this to your sewing group or your guild or whatever you're doing where you're going to sew. It turned out pretty cute, I think. So, however, I had some material left from that, and I was trying to make this cell phone stand by Carolina Moore, and I did not do it right. It did not come out right at all. I put some corners together wrong or something, and I wound up with a little Barbie bustier. So I'm going to try it again. I still have a few more pieces of this. You just need 2 6-inch squares. So I'm going to see if I can get one of these successfully made in the next little bit, because I don't want a little project like that to take me down. There's pretty good instructions on the back, how to, there's 1 through 12 steps, and there are 6 illustrations, and I really feel confident that I had followed the directions, but evidently I did not. So I'm going to be stubborn and try to make that again until I get it right. That's what I'm going to do. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I did this weekend sewing wise? Oh, I did work a little bit on the Block Wednesday. The Wednesday video, the sew along, and if any of you are doing that, gather together your cutoffs, your bigger cutoffs, the triangles that you could sew up and make half square triangles out of, and I'll show you how to make a neat border out of that. It's optional. You won't have to do that, but I will be showing that in the video. So if you want to get a little head on it, that's a little sneak peek into, what we're going to be doing on that last video. And that will be done. Then I'm going to start into some long arm videos, some very, 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 very basic ones. Some of the stuff that I'm 100% confident that I know what I'm talking about, because I don't want to mess anybody up with a video like that. Somebody learning new, and I don't want to give false information or incorrect information. So I'm going to start filming a few videos with my next project that I'm going to load on. So that will be the Wednesday videos probably through the end of the month. If you're not interested in long arming, watch them anyway. You might hear me say something that will be valuable to you on some level. So it might be interesting to you, even if you don't, plan on getting a long arm in the future, don't have one. It could be of interest to you just to see how it's done. Some people have said that they would like to see how it's done. Not that I'm just going to make a video of me stitching out a quilt, but more of the details, before and some during that whole process. So, and some more of those videos will be coming out as next year goes along too, I'm sure. As I get more confident in other aspects of it, I can, put out a video on those. But that's pretty much what I touched this weekend. This the quilt, and then the border for the Jolly Bar book Sew Along. Pretty much all I touched, I think. I didn't do any, real cleaning or organizing this week or this weekend. So that's about how it went. I hope you got to sew some. I hope you made some headway on some projects, or just even piddled around a little bit in your sewing area. That's always a fun day too, just to piddle around in your sewing room, move things around and look through things and thumb through quilt books, or sit and look at Pinterest and plan out what you're going to do next. I do that all the time. Sometimes I just come up here and I just sit here and I just think, think about what I've got sitting around here and what I might be able to come up with for future videos or just projects that I want to do. Let me talk about some of the things I'm going to work on for the rest of the month without starting a whole new quilt project. And probably this week I will do the Peaceful Baskets. I've got one pattern I haven't done yet, 1 month I haven't done, and the other box is well on its way. So I don't want to get backed up on these. So I need to get into that this week. And get the next block done. So there's those that I'm going to work on. And then remember these. This is the Tranquility fabric from Kim Deal. And this pattern, I don't remember what it's called or where I got it. It's escaped me now. It's been too long since I've worked on it. But I think I have 2, 4, 6... I have 8 blocks done, and I think I was only going to do 12, 13, maybe I was going to do 15, I don't remember. I have plenty of fabric to do 15, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to be finishing this up. This won't take all that long before the end of the year. And let's see, I discovered one other thing. I discovered that I had all of these blocks from the 2023 subscription box from So Yeah. I never did do anything with these. They didn't give finishing instructions. You could finish it however you wanted. So I'm not sure what to do with these. I need to maybe look into putting these together before the end of the year. Like I said, this was 2023, not 2024. And I think their box started in January, so this has been sitting around for a year. Well, it's been hanging around for a year behind some other stuff. So I need to do something with this, and that could be done. And then, of course, I did mention one time that I have a memory quilt to do, and I have yet to get started other than looking through the clothes. So I really, really need to get started on that. I need to start cutting and putting the SF101 on there, the interfacing on the pieces, because most of the fabric of the clothing is not a stable cotton. So I'm going to have to do a lot of that. But once I can get that part done, I think the cutting will go pretty quick, and the blocks themselves will go together pretty quick. So that's what's in the works for the next little bit. And time goes by so fast. I mean, here we are past the middle of November. Yeah, it's flying. 6 weeks will be to the end of the year, and that literally flies. So yeah, I'm probably not going to get all these big things done that I think I'm going to do. Here I go and I say, oh, I'll start on this. This won't take long. Oh, I'll have this done in 2 weeks. No problem. But, things happen, and, sometimes you're not in the mood, and you think you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff done. Actually, realistically, I could get all those things done. But, I don't know, it just doesn't always come out the way it's planned, for me anyway. I don't know what that is. It's my own personal problem, isn't it? Let me talk to you a little bit about something that I found online that I want to share with you. Anytime I run into like a good deal or something, I want to share it with you guys. Not trying to get you to spend money for any reason, because I have no I have no horse in that race, or whatever it is that they say. I have no dog in that fight. I don't really like that. How about I don't have a horse in that race? It sounds better, doesn't it? Let's see here. Let me see. Marshall Dry Goods. If you go to marshalldrygoods.com, and that's Marshall with 2 L's, marshalldrygoods.com. A lot of you have purchased from them and know about them, but if you haven't, and for those of you that have as well, they just got in a whole bunch of new Riley Blake stuff. So if you go searching under Riley Blake on their site, you can search through and, well, you can just browse it, but it is 40 pages, I think, something like that. Yeah, you can just browse it. It's $6.99 a yard. So that's a good price for Riley Blake. And I happen to have, I was browsing, and I happened to have, I saw in there a piece of fabric that looked like a fat quarter bundle that I have. And I have this fat quarter bundle that I got, I don't know, several months ago. It's Brilliance is the name of it. And it's by, let's see who it's by, Jerry Robinson. And they have some of these bigger prints. So I wanted to grab some of those and have some stuff for borders for when I get ready to use this. So there's other stuff there too. I had another, like a Ava Kate was a Riley Blake line that I had some charm packs in, and I could get a piece, for that. And there's a couple other pieces that went with some of the other fabrics that I have here, and I thought this is the time to get that. So I went ahead and got a few yards of that just to go with those. So look at your stash. If you've got a Riley Blake pre-cut of some kind, go searching on the name of that pre-cut, the name of the line, and see if they have any fabrics out there that can go with it for your borders and your backings and your bindings. So that's a lot more economical, $6.99, than the normal $12+ a yard. So that's something I wanted to share with you. And then also, well, I guess kind of with that kind of theme in mind, let's go ahead and talk about some recent things that I have bought. Okay, most of this, if not all, is from Connecting Threads. This is an order that I've had out for a little bit, and it finally came in, so that's why I'm sharing this with you. And I was going to give you some prices. Let me see if I can find the prices. Here it is. I got some Soft and Stable. You guys tell me if this is good prices. This was on their clearance. Soft and Stable. You can use this for bags or placemats or anything where you want a little bit heftier foam inside of it, like a little thin foam. This was an 18 by 58 piece, and it was $9.56. So I got that. I'm going to put this back over here. And then I also got a Wrap and Zap. Now this is what you use for putting stuff in the microwave. So if you have like a bowl cozy pattern you use all the time, or I don't know, one of those potato sack things where you can bake potatoes inside of them. That's what this that's what this is on the back here. There's a pattern on there for it. A baked potato zapper. I should make some of those. Wrap and Zap. So this was $7.07. It's 45 inches by 1 yard, so 36 by 45. That would make quite a few bowl cozies. And then I also got a pedal mat for my sewing machine in the house, which was $7.96. And this is one of those rubbery, it almost feels wet kind of thing. So I'm hoping that it will stick very well to my wood floor. I bet it doesn't, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. And I got 2 of these. These are LED needle minders. I wanted one for in the house and one for in here. I've already opened one. This is the one I need to take in the house. And let me show it to you. This is $5.59 for this. It looks like this. And it has the normal little needle threader thing on it. But what's neat is you can take that needle. Let me see if you can see it against my arm. Can you see the metal coming out? And then it also has a light. A pretty good light. The only problem I'm having with it, and I'm going to play with it a little more because I really want this to work, is this little filament that they have in here is so thin, which it has to be able to get through the eye of a needle. When the light is shining on it, it almost disappears. I know that was supposed to be on there to help you to see it better, but for me, it kind of makes it disappear. However, I will admit that the foot that I use all the time, which I could take the foot off, couldn't I? It's so shiny. When this shines on it, I can't see anything. Everything's just reflected back up. So I need to learn how to use this, is what needs to happen. So I need this for in here and in the house. And then what else did I get? I got 2 pieces of crow fabric. They had some crow fabric in the clearance. This one is a gray harlequin. I just got a half a yard of each. And this is for my crow fabric collection that I have. This was $4.56. It was $9.12 a yard. That's why I only got a half a yard, because that's still a little pricey. But you know, Connecting Threads has that luxurious feeling fabric. I love their fabric. I really do. I should purchase there more. And I'm an affiliate link. So if you want to buy any of this stuff, go to my affiliate link in the description box and enter the store through there. This one has a tan background. I really like this one. But you can see the harlequins in the back. And then it's neat how they arranged the crows to where they kind of look, you know, a kind of a diamond-ish shape on the fabric. So that will just go in my stash until I decide, in my crow bin, until I decide what to do with it. One of these days I'm going to just have this amazing crow something. Big quilt, I guess. And then I also got this for my home. It is a panel, and the panel was $10.39. I think it had been like $14. But this is from a line called Zanzibar. And I just felt like this would go so good in my home. There's a lot of, it's coming up green for me on what I'm looking at there. But it's grays. It's grayish greens, tans, and creams. And I think what I could do is just put an edge-to-edge design on that. I don't even know if I would add borders. And just hang it like this would look good, because it already has kind of a frame here. I would just have to find a backing that will work with it, which if it's a wall hanging, it's not going to matter really too much what the backing is. So I picked that up. It was just a little shopping spree, but I did try to get everything on sale. Zanzibar floral panel light gray. So what that was called. And is that all I got from them? Yeah, I think it was. Now I do have a couple of backings for quilts here that I got from Scrap Apple Quilting. And that's, it's just their store in St. George, Utah. Let me put this back so that it gets where it's supposed to go. And this. So this one, look how pretty. This is a Laundry Basket Quilts backing. And I got it for their normal $55, which may not be the best price, but I saw it and I knew it was perfect for something. Something in particular, not just something. Do you remember when I made the Barnstar sampler? I think I'm going to put this on the back. And as a matter of fact, I believe I've decided that will be my next big long arm project on the long arm. I'm going to put a smaller one on, probably be quilting it Tuesday. I'll put a smaller one on first and do that. And then my next one after that will be the Barnstar Sampler. And then I also got this, only because I hadn't seen anything quite like it. And I thought this would be really good for the backing of one of our Humane Society quilts. And I don't know if I'm getting close enough, but each one of those feet, even though this is not a batik, the feet in here looks like batik fabric. Just kind of has that look to it. So our next quilt, I'll put that on the back. So we'll be talking about that pretty soon too. I'm getting really excited about ending this year up and starting the new one. I just have so many things I want to get set, and tell you about. I don't have anything super new and exciting to tell you about, but I just want to do that whole start over. I know I talk about it all the time, but I'm getting excited to start the new year. And especially, I think maybe that might be because of this long arm fest I'm doing right now. I really feel like I'm really getting some momentum, not only in my personal sewing, but just overall for the Lessons Learnt channel and all of that thing. I'm feeling more, calmer and more in control and not stressed out about having to do things. And that's especially what's going to happen next year. It's going to be very non-stressful, as much as I can make it that way. A little stress is good for anybody, right? But that's kind of where I'm at with that. So maybe the last week of December, I would say. Probably the last Monday of December, I will be talking about 2025. So put that on your calendar. Don't miss it. By the way, look and see if the subscribe button is lit up on your screen. If it is, go ahead and touch it and hit the like button if you want to, and leave a comment on this video. By far the most popular video I have is the Friday video. It is always well attended to by the viewers. But I would like to build up the Monday a little bit more. It should be about the same. These are not what's called evergreen videos. They're just, they have dates on them. So it's almost like they expire. So they don't get looked at again, usually. Whereas some of the tutorial type videos or the quilt show videos, people will return to those, or they're more likely to watch all the way to the end. So, yeah, do that for me today if you don't mind, and watch all the way to the end of the Monday videos. That would help me out quite a bit. All right, so I did my journaling, and it was quite extensive this week, the stuff that I did. And, yeah, I did. So let's just go ahead and do our quilt of the week. And I'll be putting a picture up here on one side of me or another. This is called Civil War Medallion. It's 76 by 76. And it's by Linda Wertala of Thorpe, Michigan. I just made a new state, Wisconsin and Michigan. Linda Wertala of Thorpe, Wisconsin. Okay, she says, after winning this Lori Smith pattern on a trip, Linda enjoyed going through her scraps for pieces like those in the pattern picture. A challenge arose in measuring the light green scraps to make sure there were plenty for that section. She added borders to the pattern, including the 9 patches, displayed at the Treasures of Tomorrow show in Marshfield, Wisconsin. And there's a note here, pattern is Aunt Lucy's Medallion by Lori Smith, from my heart to your hands.com. I might have to look that up. From my heart to your hands.com. They might have some other cool patterns like that. I actually have a hankering to do that Letters Home pattern again. That's the one I use the Anne of Green Gables fabric for. I'd kind of like to do that one again. I think it's going to be a repeat at some point. Believe it or not, I don't usually repeat patterns. But I'm thinking about that. And while I'm thinking about Anne of Green Gables, that's some of the Riley Blake on Marshall Dry Goods is in there. Some of those big prints. If you're needing border prints, go get them, because $6.99. You need about 2 yards for a big print border, you know, a wide border. You will have to do some matching up if you choose. So that's why I say 2 yards. You may be able to get away with less. So she added on this quilt, she added those little 9 patches around, and that really made it stunning, I think, too. And all those different blocks around the center medallion. Very interesting. I would like to make this or something like it. Maybe the letters home. So that's that. Now, what else? I'm trying to think. What else is there to share with you today? It's the middle of November. I'm thinking about a no-buy month, which I'm going to keep it the same for me. It's going to be no-buy January and no-buy July next year. I guess I should save that kind of information for that last Monday's of the year's video, but it is something that's been on my mind. I'm going to fiercely try to cut back a little bit in the next, till the end of the year. I have plenty of wide backs, I think, and fabric that I can piece up to make backings with. Don't really need more fabric lines. There's nothing really I'm really waiting for right now to come out. I still have some things in the mail on the way that I ordered weeks ago. I don't know why it takes so long for fabric to get here. It just seems like it all comes from California, Nevada, and Utah these days. I even ordered some from Alaska the other day. That's Soya's other store, Barely Threaded. That's where those. Is that where those came from? No, that was from Scrap Apple, I'm pretty sure. Or was it? I don't remember. Let's see. Something else came to mind when I started talking about that. Oh, I ordered a new table. I believe I showed you last Monday how I moved my sewing machine inside that I want to use for piecing backings and putting on bindings on the finished quilts, the quilted quilt tops. And it's wobbly. It was more stable than it was before we took it out there, but it's still wobbly with the Jazz 2 sitting on it, because that's a heavy machine. It's very heavy. And it has 2 locks on 2 of the 4 wheels, so that means that it just kind of moves like this, like clockwise as I use it. So I went ahead and I bit the bullet and I bought another table, and it's a lot like the one I have here, the Arrow table that I have, but it's called Hideaway Deluxe, and I got it from sewingcabinets.com. They had a deal where you could get that table, which has a big table piece that folds down, so you can lift that up and as you're moving your quilt through, keep it from getting all over the floor, and also keep that tension off of it as you're sewing. It has a hydraulic lift in it, and I unfortunately had to order some new Jazz 2 Sew Steady inserts. The ones I have will not quite fit in it. I was hoping it would, but it wouldn't. But the deal was the table, plus for free you get an Arrow chair. So I am getting an Arrow sewing chair with it, and I'm going to move actually this table. Yeah, I actually misspoke. I'm going to move this table inside, bring the new table up here. The inserts will fit this table for the Jazz 2, so that's going in here. I had to get new inserts for the brother that I'm going to keep in here, because I'm going to primarily be doing piecing in here. So I feel like things are really getting organized now. I'm really getting what I need what I want, what I need, and that will help me to be more productive and more organized. And, you know, the more organized and productive you are, the more you get done, right? So I think today I'm going to start on that smaller quilt, getting it on the long arm. I will long arm it on Tuesday. I will have the Wednesday video, which will wrap up the Jolly Bar book sew along. And from there, I'll be back up here on Friday, making that Friday video for you. Thanks for sending in all of your nice finishes. It makes for a really good show. And keep in mind the guidelines that I've set in the description box of all my videos. If you think, oh, I want to send this in to Sherry's Finish It Friday, then make sure it fits into that little mold there that I've set. Appreciate it very much. But we love to see everything everybody's doing. And it doesn't have to be quilts. You can send, if you're a bag maker, send in bags, wall hangings. I don't do hand thread work stuff too much. You know, hand thread work? Hand stitching. I don't show too many hand stitching things because that is almost a whole nother realm outside of quilting and sewing with fabric. So I'm not accepting those right now, but maybe in the future, if I get into doing that myself and some of you want to have that on the channel, maybe that's a question for you right now. Go ahead and put in the comments if you would like this channel to feature some cross stitch or embroidery. I'm not great at embroidery. I can do cross stitch. I've done it in the past. If that's something you want, maybe one project or something for the next year, something like that, we could do that. It'd probably take me a year to get mine done. I can't see anymore. I have glasses, but it's not as fun to stitch when you have to wear glasses. Who's with me on that? But yeah, this is cute. I like that I pulled that out to do. So not like starting a new quilt, but it kind of gave me a little break in the monotony, and that was just enough. I need to figure this thing out though. This little cell phone thing. Y'all made these? Did you have trouble with the pattern? Is it just me? Tell me down below if you've done it. Alright, that's it. I will see you back here on Wednesday for that last video, and then again on Friday. Please go spend a little time in your sewing area this week. If you work full time, just go spend 15 or 20 minutes in there 1 or 2 days a week, and you'll be surprised what you're going to be able to get done. Alright, we will see you soon, and have a great week. Bye!